The joys of driving a 21-year-old vehicle. I've had this now since 2004. Anyway, I've driven it ever since, and the odd thing goes wrong. I brought it in because I was hearing a noise on the right-hand side when I'm driving. Not very loud. The only time I could really hear it when you're driving along and there's a curb and you got your window open. If the windows were closed, I wouldn't hear it. But I set this down. As you're driving along, you see the curb's high, I would hear a noise coming, and when the curb drops off, it went away. Of course, it's not echoing back at me. And then, of course, you go past the driveway where the curb's lower, it comes right back. So I heard that, so I said, okay, it's a good time to bring it in, do an oil change. And while I was in, I was putting this off. I normally always wash the engine bay after winter. Like I say, this year I kind of put it off too long. And I do that just to get rid of the salt spray, because when you're driving on the highway and you have all that spray coming up from the vehicles in front of you, it goes in here and the fan on your vehicle is going. It just takes it and pretty much coats the entire engine bay with a salt spray or salt mist, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's good to take that out. That way, anything up here, your electrical, your lines, your brake lines, a few lines that come up through here, everything stays fairly clean. I'm going to go through some of the stuff that I've had to do over the years. The last major repair I had to do in here was I started getting a intermittent problem. Lights would flicker. So I figured right off the bat that was a bad ground. But before that happened, I was always having my radio, which I show you on the inside. Years ago, I switched this radio out. This one here, which has a GPS nav. Years ago, after I installed the radio, you spend all that time to get all your preset stations. There's quite a few of them. So you sit down in a parking lot, you go and you save it to memory. Well, I do all that work, and about a week later or 2 weeks later, bang, they're all gone. I said, okay. New radio. I said, okay, well, do it again. Anyway, I did it a few times, and I just kept losing. It just went right back to stock. I figured it was just a bad radio. Everything worked good on the radio. Never had an issue with it, except I just kept losing my presets. I would never lose the radio station I was listening to, but all the other presets always were gone. Anyway, getting back to, I was having an issue, wasn't quite working right. So I figured, okay, the vehicle's old. I got to have a bad ground just the way it was acting, and sure enough, I had to go and clean every ground. And what I added here, just to be on the safe side, like I say, every ground in here was cleaned. And you get like body one back over here, that was taken off clean. But what I did was I added this right here. It's two 10 gauge wires. And added one here just to give a better ground to my sensors that are along here. And the other one branches off to over here. It's just added ground. It probably wasn't necessary, but I did it anyway. Oh, anyway, after I did all the cleaning of the grounds and I added this one here, my radio worked fine after that. All the pre-programmed stations, and after the extra ground and all the cleaning, it was never an issue. I'm surprised that it ran with an intermittent ground. Anyway, it did. Oh, and another reason I brought it in was it was due the oil change. The air conditioner top up, I did a video on that before. Once a year I have to top the AC off. And I took a look, and I thought it was, because last time I checked this, I couldn't find a leak anywhere in the vehicle. So I thought it was in the dash, and I didn't want to have to tear the dash apart, so I kept topping it up. But I'll show you what I found. I got a black light. I don't know if that's going to affect the camera or not anyway. So I was checking with my black light. I might have to turn the lights off above me. I don't know how that's going to handle the camera. But if you take a look, that's my AC compressor down there. And I notice the lines that go into it have the dye around them. So there's O-rings inside those lines. So I guess I'm going to order I'm going to get that to focus. I guess I'm going to order the O-rings and replace them. And maybe after that's done, I won't have to top this up every year. Okay, so now we'll get to that noise. It's the right side, passenger side. Random information, if anybody's ever wondering. When they say right side, left side of a vehicle, it's sitting in the driver's seat. So if you're sitting in the driver's seat, the right side of the vehicle is the passenger side, the left side is the driver's side. Yeah, you can hear the noise. I checked it play, there's no play in it, but that's what things you deal with when you're driving a 21-year-old vehicle. The winter tires I left on because they're starting to get a little weather cracked, and I'm going to replace them before the winter. So instead of replace them, I'm just going to, there's still lots of tread left on them, but I'm just going to wear them out for the summer. They're, what is it? Open Country Toyo. They're still not bad in the summer. A little less traction. I can tell if I go around a corner really, really fast and I come under braking. This vehicle has a tendency to track. It doesn't, it tracks nice. If you go trying to make a turn, you're going under heavy braking, it tends to slide. The back end doesn't kick out or the front end doesn't kick out. It just slides evenly. So with these tires, it slides a little easier, but not too bad. Okay, here we go. My dust shield is gone. Okay, the inside rusted out. Brake's got half the life left, so we're good. Our rotors looks like it's getting a little hot. And what this does, it's a dust shield. It keeps the dust off. It also helps direct air. Keep the rotor cool. So I'll have to order that through, I say Suzuki, but there's one guy that used to be the parts guy at the Suzuki dealership. He now works for another company, but he still has his new company. He's also another parts guy, but he can get any Suzuki part you need. 3 years ago, the other side fell off, and I had ordered one. It's a lot of work to replace. You got to take this whole thing apart. Anyway, I had ordered one, and he had no problem getting it. Anytime I have a problem getting it at any local parts store or online, I go see him, and bang, he goes in. He's got, like, say, everything on the computer. He orders it. I don't know if it's coming from Japan or where it's coming from, but he gets it. I've been lucky that way. If I didn't know about him, I would have a hard time finding parts for this Suzuki. A couple years ago, I lost, I was changing the CV boots on this, and as I pulled the axle out, the pin broke and half stayed inside the differential and the other half fell on the floor. Anyway, I had to pull the differential. It was a pain to get that broken piece out. And I checked everywhere. I couldn't find the clip that goes around that holds the axle in. And of course I went to him, bang. Within, I think, it was about 4 days I got the part. So for now, I'm just going to put the tire back on, retorque that tire. It's still safe to drive. It's just that dust shield keeps the dust from going in where the seal is on the bearing on the inside, and it helps cool it. So it may take me a week or so to get the part, but for now I'll just put the tire on and we're good. Anyway, I'd say that's the one of the hassles of owning a 21-year-old vehicle. At any time, like say, it's starting to get older. Even though I look after it, parts still like that just break or rust off. The rest of the vehicle's not rusted, but vehicles have always been undercoated. But you can't undercoat anywhere around the brakes. That's why that's gone. Anyway, if you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching my channel. Bye for now.